Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, John Vias, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Anthony Matos with sports. Thank you for joining us. Burlington educators will be able to see the beaming faces of their students starting after the end of February vacation. On Wednesday night, the Burlington School Committee convened a special meeting for the sole purpose of rescinding the district's mask mandate. This came a week after Governor Baker and the Mass Department of Elementary and Secondary Education announced the end of the mandate for all Mass public schools. The state and now the district mandates are set to expire on Monday, February 28. Superintendent Conti said he recommended rescinding the mandate and pointed out that the numbers of COVID-19 infections in the district had fallen over the last few weeks. He said during the week of January 8th to the 15th, the district had 118 cases, and those numbers had continued to fall, and last week there were only 18 cases reported in the district. Dr. Conti also pointed to the district's vaccination numbers. He said that in the high school, over 80% of students and staff were fully vaccinated, and Marshall Simons Middle School was in the vicinity of 80%. At the elementary level, about 50% of students and staff were vaccinated. The committee voted unanimously to rescind the mandate. School administration and school committee members also emphasized that while there will no longer be a mandate, any student or faculty member who chooses to wear a mask will be free to do so. They also stressed that there should be an emphasis that nobody feel badgered about their decision to wear a mask or not, and it should be a priority among staff to stop any bullying of students over their choice. Here is member Christine Monaco.
There are people, there are students, there are parents who are going to ask their children to continue to wear masks. And, you know, there's a lot of things about people's lives that we don't know. A child may wear a mask because he's terrified of making his mother sick or his father sick or his little sister sick. So I would really ask parents to explain that some people will wear masks, and that's because they feel the need to, and they have every right to do that. And some people will not wear masks for whatever their reasons are, the mandate, assuming it's lifted. But I would expect like zero tolerance on mask bullying from schools and families. Like, we all have to let everybody do what they feel is best.
Finally, due to federal regulations, masks are still required on public transportation, including school buses and in medical settings like the school nurse's office. Superintendent Conti said masks would be available at all school nurses' offices so that the requirement would not be an impediment to any child who needed to be seen. The Burlington Police Department and the FBI are seeking the public's assistance in identifying a man who they say was caught on surveillance committing a bank robbery. According to the police information website maskmostwanted.com, authorities are looking to identify the man pictured in the surveillance photo for allegedly conducting an unarmed robbery at the TD Bank at 186 Cambridge Street on February 3rd. The man is described as having a large build, being of medium height, and with a light complexion. Anyone with information is asked to contact FBI agent Jason Kentros at 857-386-2000. According to the posting, a citizen who provides information that leads to identification and arrest of a mass bank robber may be eligible to receive money under a program sponsored by the Massachusetts Bankers Association. Burlington police say that a large response of officers in the area of Peach Orchard Road on Monday evening that garnered a lot of attention on social media was to allow for the safe delivery of a civil warrant. Chief Brown said Burlington police, with the assistance of mutual aid officers with specialized training, successfully served a mental health related civil warrant. According to authorities, police cordoned off an area around Peach Orchard Road near the Woburn City line at approximately 5:30 p.m. to maintain a safe perimeter. The warrant was civil, not criminal in nature, and police say there was no threat to the public at any time. Police say the mutual aid was out of an abundance of caution, and Burlington Police Department requested assistance from officers with specialized training in assisting those with mental health disorders as well as a highly trained negotiator from other communities through the Northeastern Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council, or better known as NEMLEC. The person who was the subject of the warrant was safely brought out of a residence by officers and taken to a medical facility. No one was injured. Due to the nature of the incident, the address and further details are not being released. On Wednesday, town meeting voted to approve 2 proposed zoning bylaw changes crafted with the intent to make it easier for businesses to open and operate in Burlington. BNEWS reporter Rich Hosford has this report.
During Wednesday night's town meeting, members voted in favor of 2 proposed zoning bylaw changes intended to help spur economic development in town. The first made it so that experiential and for-profit educational businesses under 20,000 square feet can locate in certain zoning types by right, and another that makes it easier for restaurants to open and maintain makeshift outdoor seating, a practice that was allowed under an emergency order during the pandemic. Both were presented by Burlington Economic Development Director Melissa Tentopoulos, who spoke with BNews about their intended impact.
Well, modernizing retail uses is really about creating more options in our retail spaces. So as we're seeing apparel, tenants that only sell apparel or clothing, that's been decreasing, and we kind of know that even before COVID, the practices of online shopping and getting out had been decreasing, and so by allowing non-traditional retail uses, we're actually creating more options for our spaces, our retail spaces in town, and that's going to kind of reduce our vacancies and then increase the vibrancy we have in our retail areas.
So what type of experiential businesses may we see in town?
What we're seeing are these kind of more experiential-based spaces that blend, selling product and then selling you an experience. And they're highly curated spaces, almost like exhibit spaces, and they kind of tour you through them. Some of them will be more virtual reality spaces, kind of like the X Golf, but they're also new high-end spaces that, blend different kinds of sports as well. Some of the things that people have asked me would be axe throwing, for example. Would that be allowed? Well, now it would be allowed.
I also asked how making it easier for restaurants to maintain makeshift outdoor seating sections, such as in parking lots or on sidewalks, helps the hospitality industry.
Outdoor seating rule section is now just going to facilitate requests that are seasonal and temporary as business kind of explore some things that they want to do in front of their storefront to activate the space. Maybe it's a few seats, maybe it's a little bit more seating opportunity for dining, but we'll be able to permit that in an administrative review process that's streamlined.
Finally, Tentopoulos said she believes both these zoning changes will benefit both businesses and the town.
I think this will strengthen kind of our local economy, especially in our restaurant hospitality section and our retail section. So I think these both kind of bolster what we have in town.
From Burlington Town Meeting, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
Town meeting also approved a $1.5 million appropriation for a feasibility study for a new Fox Hill Elementary School. The study is needed as part of the process of applying for funds from the state through the Mass School Building Authority, which could cover roughly 40% of a new school. Here is Burlington Public Schools Director of Operations, Bob Kuna, on what the passage of the article means and the next steps for the district.
Well, we still need to finish the MSBA's process, so we'll have to submit this approval to them. And then we'll need to get on one of their next board meetings, which is in either end of March or there's one in April. If we are elected to go to the next phase, which is the feasibility study, then we will seek to hire an OPM, and then we will seek to complete a feasibility study. Feasibility study is a deep dive, right? So we'll look at design concepts. We'll figure out whether or not how many classrooms we need, how big of a building, where on the site it would actually be located, things like that, and then get a more detailed cost analysis of what that would cost the town of Burlington.
The students and educators at the Francis Wyman Elementary School, with help from the SMILE Project artists Bren Bataclan, have collaborated on a creative, diverse, artistic endeavor at their school. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak spoke with the artist and has this look.
Francis Wyman Elementary School has a new work of art, the result of a joint effort between students, teachers, and artist Bren Bataclan. BNews first met the artist in 2018 during his artistic residency at Burlington High School.
So I had an exhibit. The amazing art teacher had me paint paintings for the schools to give away because I have this street art project where I leave paintings around the world. For the past 19 years, I've been giving away paintings with a note that says, "This painting is yours if you promise to smile at random people more often." So it's all about kindness. It's all about smiling. Christina Chang, the art teacher, she recommended my work to like the art teacher at the elementary school. So that's how I ended up working.
Rem was originally set for his collaboration with Francis Wyman in March of 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. Francis Wyman art teacher Lauren Angelo says the project now has new meaning.
When I have mural residencies, I show the kids how to draw my characters, and then in return, they draw for the mural project. And so actually, I paint what the kids illustrate. And so their artwork becomes part of the school's history and legacy.
Each of Francis Wyman's 30 homerooms were assigned an object to draw for the mural.
Really awesome that she chose a lot of diversity-related things to like draw, like the hands inside the heart with all different skin tones. It's the first time that I drew that, and that idea came from a kid. So that's why I love working with students, because their like ideas most of the time are better than mine. It's all about them and less about me. It is a really nice community effort. Actually, the teachers, about 20 of them, help paint the mural. So I think it means a lot more when it comes from them. They're like ideas, the kids' drawings, and also the whole like folks painting with me. So it's all about diversity and being creative.
This creative collaboration between teachers and students is a celebration of the diverse learning in Burlington Public Schools.
I love Burlington. I sure feel the love when I'm there. And it's like years now since I've been working with them. So it's just been really wonderful. And thanks for keep having me back. Thank you.
Special thanks to the Francis Wyman PTO for help making the project happen. From Francis Wyman Elementary School, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
BHS art students are hard at work getting ready to create work that will wow the public at the upcoming LexArt show presented by the Lexington Arts and Crafts Society. BNews reporter John Vias has this report.
Creating, performing, responding, and connecting. Those are 4 words that best represent the national core art standards, and these Burlington High School students embrace those words through their craft. Some of their work will even be showcased at LexArt's Regional High School Art Show and the Scholastic Art Awards, regional and national.
Well, every year the Lexington Arts and Crafts Society, they've been doing this since as long as I've been teaching here, so for at least 20 years. It's an annual show. In the past, they've called it the Regional High School Art Awards. It's been a great way for the different schools in the area. It's a great way for us to profile the work we're doing in our classes and to see how the different programs in the different schools differ from one another and how we're the same. We're all on the same page in terms of the standards that we're teaching, but the way we approach it might differ from one to another. So it's inspiring. We get to see other possibilities on approaching subjects and ideas.
These young artists are hard at work every day, and with their imaginations always ready to soar, some of their pieces will take more than 10 hours to complete.
It takes me about a couple days, really, because I spend not only a lot of time shooting, but I also will develop it because I take my images on film. So it takes upwards of like a week and a half.
So I try to focus my photography on more like modern pieces and try to keep my photos as clean as possible. I like doing a lot of self-portraits as well as photographing others.
More than just creativity, art is also about communication, a key factor to a young artist's performance, along with preparation, motivation, and expression.
Sometimes it could be spontaneous. Sometimes I think of ideas like when I'm just either listening to certain types of music or looking at certain types of articles of media that I can almost emulate within different pieces. So it could take anywhere from like 15 minutes to get like materials together and kind of start shooting, even if it might not be the final product, or it could take like up to a few days to kind of gather my thoughts and resources as well.
There's great value in exhibiting work, presenting work, is considered one of the anchor standards or core standards of arts education. In most art programs, you're going to find that the students do a lot of sharing their work, talking about their work, reflecting on it, being able to take feedback from others, both praising the things that they did well and getting recognition for that is a good feeling. You know, that's satisfying for them for sure. But also developing a thicker skin and being able to take constructive criticism is a really important part of the art making process.
The LexArt Regional Art Show will run from March 5th through the 20th, where the work of BHS art students will be showcased for the public to see. From the art classrooms of BHS, this is John Vias for BNEWS Weekly.
The Burlington Fire Department welcomed a new member during Monday night's Select Board meeting. At the recommendation of Chief Michael Patterson, Town Administrator Paul Sagarino appointed Joshua Landry to the position of firefighter paramedic. Landry, a resident of Rockland, has been with the Rockland Fire Department since January of 2018. Chief Patterson said Landry approached Burlington to see if there would be a possibility of a lateral transfer from the Rockland Fire Department to Burlington in order for him to move closer to his roots of southern New Hampshire and the North Shore. After meeting with the candidate, they were impressed by both the candidate and his credentials. Those credentials include completing the Mass Firefighting Academy in 2018, followed by 4 years working as a firefighter paramedic. He has earned his Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2 certification, as well as Hazmat Operational Level Responder certification. He is certified in Advanced Cardiovascular Life Support and Pediatric Advanced Life Support. Landry is currently a National Registry and Mass Certified EMT paramedic. Landry attended Mass Bay Community College in Framingham, where he completed the paramedic training program. He also earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Emergency Medical Care from Western Carolina University in 2021. It's been bitterly cold and unseasonably warm all in the past week, typical of New England weather. To see if this trend will continue, we go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for the latest forecasts. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the end of February. We only have a couple of weeks left of meteorological winter. I know that's great news, especially for those of us who are not the biggest fans of the winter weather. And we've certainly had our share of winter weather here in the Burlington area over the past month or so. Frigid temperatures, a good amount of snow, and we are definitely ready for a thaw. Now, starting out our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the low 40s, and we're going to be significantly warmer than that. We're going to be starting out our day on Friday in the low to mid 50s before, unfortunately, a sharp cold front comes through and brings us back to reality. But really taking a look at this week coming up in weather, we don't really have anything coming in terms of heavy snow or anything, and we have quite a bit of above average temperatures as we go through this period. As we get towards the end of the period, getting in towards the February 24th timeframe, we should see temperatures again at this time of the year in the low 40s, and we may see temperatures nearly 20 degrees warmer than that. So maybe in the low to mid 60s. Is that a possibility? Hopefully it is. And of course, one thing that we know that we're getting closer to spring is the days keep getting longer and longer. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area over the next 7 to 10 days in terms of temperatures and precipitation. Again, looking at our temperature map, this is the type of map we haven't seen since back in December. We are expecting a really high chance of above average temperatures, and that's definitely going to be reflected in our 7-day in a couple of moments. And as we look at our precipitation chances, this of course says also that we're looking at above average precipitation, but that's going to be coming mostly in the form of rain. So that is some great news. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather that I think most of you in the Burlington area are really going to like. Now, starting again on Friday, we're going to be seeing our morning high in the mid to upper 50s with some spotty rain showers around after we've had a pretty good dousing of rain overnight Thursday into Friday. Our temperatures are then going to steadily decrease down into the 20s by the time we get to late Friday night. So if you are out and about in the Burlington area late Friday night or early Saturday morning, it is going to feel like the Arctic again out there. And as we get into a Saturday with the sun coming up, our temperatures are only again going to be in the upper 20s, and we're going to be back to a real deep winter feel. Now, that's only going to last a couple of days. We're just going to, again, have maybe a chance of a few flurries on Saturday. The sun's going to come out nicely on Sunday. And then we're going to see a rise in temperatures again. Temperatures are going to be going up probably by 5 to 10 degrees each day. And as you can see, by the time we get to Thursday, we're looking at temperatures that may be approaching the mid-60s. Now, that's going to come again, unfortunately, with the chance of some rain with it. Again, rain, not snow. So it looks like we have some milder temps ahead as we head in towards the next week here in Burlington. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On February 23rd at 7 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a Teen Paint Night for grades 6 through 12. Pre-registration is required. To register and for more information, go to burlington.org. On February 25th from 8 to 10 p.m., Arthur Murray Dance Studio will be having a beach ball. $50 per person. Registration is required. For more information and to register, go to arthurmurray.com. On February 26th at 10 a.m., the Cadillac Realty Group will be having another open house survival class. To register, go to the following website.
The winter sports season is coming to a close, but many Burlington teams are still in the running for the postseason. For all the latest Red Devil action, we go to BNews sports reporter Anthony Matos for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos, and this is your weekly sports report. A couple of Burlington winter seasons have wrapped up, and we have some updates on how they did. A Burlington senior has broken the shot put record for the Middlesex League Championship meet. For more, we go to BNews sports reporter Robert Paris.
Another Red Devil has broke a record for the girls indoor track and field Middlesex League meet on February 2nd.
I didn't even know there was a record to get for it. I just PR'd, I threw my best that I could, and was really happy with it. I didn't even know the meet record till Coach McCarthy told me about it.
Brooke continues to help the team this season as she's been placing first for her shot put performances.
I've been placing first consistently in all the meets, and so that's 5 points to help the team every meet. And at the big meets, if I get first, that's 10 points. So I just try and help the team when I can because I'm only a one-event athlete in the winter.
She did a great job at the league meet. She PR'd, which is what we want her to do always, especially at this time of the season. Won by a lot, has the confidence of a first-place girl. Everybody sees her coming to the meet, and they know that she's the one to look out for.
As of this taping, the team is preparing for 2 upcoming meets. The first is the Massachusetts State Track Coaches Association Rising Championship meet on February 15th, and the next one is the MIAA Division III Championship on the 16th.
We will do really well as a team if we bring it like we have been the past couple weeks, and I know they'll be great at it, and this is what we've been working towards. The other meets are really nice and it's really great, but this would be a really good one.
With the season beginning to wind down, Brooke was glad for the opportunity to become a member of this team.
The team itself, all the girls, we're so close on this team, and it's just wicked fun. The friendships you make, you don't want to lose them, and it's like sad. I'm gonna miss high school track for sure.
From Burlington High School, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
Both teams headed to the Indoor Track and Field Division III MIAA Championship on February 16th at Reggie Lewis Center in Boston. The boys finished in 18th place and gathered a total of 9 points. As for the girls, they were crowned the MIAA Division III State Championship. Burlington finished in 1st place and had a total of 77 points. Congrats, ladies, on a fantastic season. We look forward to seeing what you bring to varsity field in the spring. Girls gymnastics had a home meet on February 8th against Stoneham, where they won 138.3 to 128.1. On February 11th, the Devils had their last home meet of the season against Winchester, where they won. As of this taping, the result have not been posted. Burlington finishes their regular season at 6-2, and they hosted the Middlesex League meet on the 16th, where they finished in 2nd place with a total of 140 points. Congratulations, Red Devils. Girls basketball had a home meet against Wilmington on February 11th. Let's roll the highlights.
The Red Devils hosted Wilmington. Let's hit the court. In the first period, both teams did not hit double digits as Burlington had 4 points and the Wildcats had 3. Second period, the Devils added 13 points and Wilmington with 5, 17-8 at half. Third period, the Devils added 4 points, and the Wildcats with 12, 21-20. In the final period, Burlington added 9 points, while the Wildcats with 4. Final 30-24, Burlington.
Another home meet against Boston Latin, where they lost 31-50. On Valentine's Day, they went to Arlington to face the Spy Ponders. Burlington won the game 53-20. On the 16th, they went to Stoneham, where they lost by 3 points, 42-45. Burlington drops to 9-9 on the season and 9-7 in the Middlesex League. The boys went to Westford Academy on February 10th, where they lost the game 61-66. Burlington had a home meet on February 11th against Wilmington. Let's roll those highlights.
Wilmington paid a visit to Burlington on February 11th. Let's get to it. In the first period, Burlington put up 26 points, and the Wildcats had 16. 26-16 after one. The Red Devils added 15 points in the second, and Wilmington with 18, 41-31 at half. Things got interesting after 3 when both teams tied up the game at 56. Burlington prevailed in the fourth by finishing it off with a 74-68 victory.
The team will have their last regular season game of the regular season on the 17th against Melrose. As of this taping, the game is still to be played. As of this taping, the team is currently 14-5 on the season. Girls hockey had an away game in Watertown on February 5th, where they lost 6-1. On February 7th, the team went to Weston, where they won 3-2. On February 9th, they took on Melrose, where they won 9-0. On February 12th, the team had another home meet against Warriors of Wakefield and won 4-1. On the 16th, they had a home meet against Malden Catholic, where they won 6-5. Burlington is 8-8 on the season. The boys had a home game against the Melrose Red Raiders on February 9th, where they won 6-3. On February 12th, the team had another home game against Wakefield, where they lost 1-5. On February 13th, they went to Canton Ice House to play Framingham in the Ed Burns Coffee Pot Tournament, where they lost 2-1. On February 17th, the boys will be going to Bridgewater Raynham Regional High School. As of taping, the game is still to be played. Currently, the team is 4-13-1 on the season. Red Devil Wrestling went to Tewksbury for the MIA Division III sectionals on February 12th. 2 sectional champs were crowned and 4 Burlington athletes qualified for states. In the 195 weight class, Senior Ronan Noak won 6-0 in the finals. Senior Tim Vadney won his second sectional title with a 6-1 win. Other athletes were Senior Nick Silva in the 138 weight class and Junior Marcus Tucci in the 182 weight class. Silva finished 3rd and Tucci in 4th. Burlington finished 7th out of 13. Vadney, Noak, Tucci, and Silva will participate in the Division III state tournament this weekend. You can check out all the winter schedules at arbiterlive.com and type in Burlington High School. For more Red Devil action, go to the BNEWS Sports section at bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNEWS Sports. That's all for your sports report. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
This week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo was a demonstration that sometimes it's good to change your perspective. It was sent in by Mary Leach and shows a daytime moon over Mary Cummings Park. The photo almost didn't get taken, however, because as Mary explained, she was there to take a shot in the opposite direction. Sometimes the best view is the one behind you, she explains. I went to Mary Cummings Park after work today to see the sunset. Instead, the moon rising was the more spectacular view. Glad I turned away from the sun. Thank you for the photo, Mary. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of anything. Winter activities, snow on the ground, upcoming spring wishing, family trip, or just everyday moments. Whatever you think is interesting and want to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Finally, don't forget to stay tuned after the news for the latest Burlington Public Schools weekly update. For all the latest education news from Superintendent Eric Conti and Assistant Superintendent Patrick Larkin, including more information about the lifting of the mask mandates. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, John Vias, Robert Paris, Peter Brown, Gretchen Carey, and Anthony Matos. Thank you for joining us.